part 2 to a video I just made. So anyway, from that point, Jenna was the one who called me up on stage. Then, and Lev's like, okay, we have one more. And Jenna looks, because Jenna pulled me over towards them. Go watch part 1 of this. Then, and she's like, wait, and then Lev like looks at her and is like, what? She's like, no, we have one more. He's like, well, I was wrong, we have one more. So then I come up, he puts the microphone in front of me, and I'm like freaking out. Like, I got to hug everyone like 3 times and stuff. And it was mind blowing because I'll admit that part of me was like a little bit like more awkward with like Jensen, Lev, and Lion. But that was like, because in the sense I was shocked first up with excitement and happiness. But also I have a crush, and so I don't want to like make it too like awkward on that. And then like end up like my dad got a photo of it, and then one day have my crush find out that like I basically hugged on like 3 other boys, very awkward, like very like strongly, like I don't want my crush thinking I like had a crush on them. I don't, but I am really big fans of them and stuff. And so I like go up, like put the microphone in, and like, what's your name? And I'm like, Lolly. And he's like, how old are you? And I said 16. And then they're like, okay, next, go on. So then Peggy walked me down the ramp, because there was a ramp to get backstage, to get on stage. First up, one thing that I will say is I got more out of my ticket, which was a VIP ticket for like $200, than the people who paid $500, like $525 for a backstage baby eye pass. Don't recommend that, because literally the only thing that they got from it is that they got to go in first. Like, they were the first, like there was 15 of them, and they were the first ones to go in for the fans. Like, obviously other people were in the place, like the squad, like people setting up security, like all of that. But they were the first 15 fans to go in. And then the only other thing that they got 30 minutes with them, in which I got a lot more. Well, I didn't get like 30 minutes, but like I still got like really awesome stuff from it. And they got a guaranteed follow from all of them. And I'm like, well, I didn't get the follow, but I still went backstage, technically, because even though the main thing about that ticket was like you get to go backstage, I went backstage anyway to get up on stage, because I had to walk up a ramp, which was backstage, which was kind of like a little backstage area, and then I had to run up on stage, thanks to Jenna. Huge shout out to her. Jenna Davis, thank you so much. I was shaking when you pointed at me, and everyone told me to go. I didn't think it was me, and I literally thought when I got to the ramp that like they're gonna tell me I wasn't picked, and then Peggy's like, run up on stage, and I'm like, wait, this is real? And I was really excited. But like, really, I got more out of it. Then I enjoyed the show and stuff, like, the whole thing was amazing. A lot of it was, like, bringing fans up on stage and doing, like, a merch throw, which I'm gonna have to tell the story about that. So what happened was I actually got the Butterflies t-shirt in the white, black, and blue. Let me show you. Here is the front and the back. And it literally is a $28 shirt that I got for free. And it's the softest thing ever. Like, it's so soft and, like, comfortable. I haven't fully worn it, but I did try it on. Because I don't want to wear it every day since it is mostly white. But the story behind it was, so first up, we were all like jam-packed, like in there standing the whole thing. And the story was that when I went up on stage, this one woman standing like next to my dad, or like slightly behind him kind started clapping and getting really excited, like she wanted me to be up there and stuff, and it was incredible. There's an airplane. But when they did the merch throw, my dad and the same woman, my dad, and one other like lady or one other mom, all three of them had their hands on it. The airplane going above us. Like, so what basically happened was that my dad and one really nice lady who got so excited when I went up on stage, like acting almost as if she was going up on stage, but she wasn't. And this one other woman, and all had their hands on it, and this really nice lady that I'm talking about literally looked at Dad, let go of it, and gave him a look like, let your kid have it. And that meant so much to me, and it meant so much to my dad. Like, thank you. If you are watching this, thank you for that, because this year hasn't been the easiest for me. Because this year definitely has been the year that I have put so much on myself, because trying to impress people at all times, trying to be top notch with my dancing at all times. And it just kind of was like a day that I don't want to be in that situation anymore. I want to let go, have fun, and enjoy everything I could about that day. And enjoy everything about that concert and everything for my 16th birthday. Just like to celebrate that. And because this year a lot has gone on in my personal life and just in general. Oh, in my dancing. But I'm a tough person, and you can't break me. You can't break me. You can say things. You can do things. But guess what? I'm strong enough, and I'm not breaking. And what I mean by that, what I'm going to kind of touch on that, is that this year I did receive my first, official, hate comment directed towards me. And that makes sense. And it wasn't a big deal. I literally read it on my Instagram. I deleted it, which was a video, actually, that I posted a couple weeks ago of a hip-hop dance routine. It was me doing a hip-hop dance routine that I learned from Natalie. Thank you, Natalie Means, and for teaching it to us and stuff. And someone commented on it, and you're not that good. Or you're not that good, and people must be embarrassed of you. And I deleted it and blocked the person. I deleted it, blocked the person, and moved on. Because I'm strong. And so hate comments doesn't get to me, and I feel like this year, it kind of, for me, I always been really confident in my dancing, and I never really been off edge about it, and that makes sense. I never been like, oh, I always just looked at it and went like, if there's something I need to fix, I'm going to work as hard as I can to fix it. Except, but I never let it get in my head. I never look down on myself, which leads me to something that happened yesterday, which was kind of annoying, because this is the second time it's happened to me, which is that my computer. So first up, I have two different computers. I have a backup computer that is a newer computer. Or not new, but it is a newer one. That was my mom's computer, but she got a new one this year, and then I have a really old computer that at one point was my mom's, but then it became my dad's, and then he switched and stuff, and then now it's mine, which is the one that I use. But the internet and my computer hate each other in this room, and so it keeps freezing on me. It keeps, like, literally I'll be logged into them for dance, and Abby will say something, and I'll hear it, but she'll tell me, like, why aren't you doing it? And I'm like, I can't see what you're doing because you're frozen. Well, the girls and stuff, but like that. And so it keeps freezing, throwing me out, stopping, it's just a mess. As I'm gonna try my newer computer back here next time I have class back here on Monday. But first I want to make sure that everything's set up on it and stuff. The problem is I also need to get the password from my dad because he set a password and I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. So I didn't get to dance yesterday. But literally going to the squad concert, I was messing around and my kick, I do a jump. There's one jump that I've been working for so long on that I call it a kick your head jump, but I don't know what it officially is. It's a jump where you kick, where your one leg goes off the ground and the other leg you kick your head, or you try to get your head to touch your foot or something. Technically, with the jump, it's supposed to be straight like this, kind of, but then I like to challenge myself and try to kick my head with it. And I almost kicked my head a couple of times. And that's incredible because I think going to the concert really showed me that if I want it, I'm the only one in my way. I'm a strong person. People can say things, they can hate on me, but guess what? Your words really, in the end, only made me better. And actually, I took the hate comment and I used it to make me better. Because now it's in my brain in a good way, in a positive way, because now I'm well, now I get to prove that person wrong one day. But they will never see because they're blocked. So when I'm up on a stage performing and for my own tour, or I can look back and be like, hey, that hate comment only made me better because it's given me a reason to prove that person wrong. And it's not like the first hate comment ever, it's actually the second one, but the first one wasn't directed towards me because I was talking about Abby Lee Miller. So I think, and that one was the first one that kind of got to me a little bit. But when that concert was so much fun, and what happened was that my dad and so they did a merch toss, and my dad and this really nice lady, and I talked about it in my last video, but I'm going to talk about it now. Again, kind of just a quick recap. This lady was so nice. When I was called up on stage by Jenna, she literally pointed at me, and I went up on stage thinking I'm not supposed to be up there. And I knew I was because when I got to the ramp, Peggy told me to run up on stage. And I'm shaking, mind blown. And I got on stage. Jenna came right up to me and brought me to the middle of the stage. And I got to be with the whole squad, give everyone hugs and stuff on stage. It meant so much to me. Go to my Instagram, Lolly_4_ever to see the photos. But, like, that concert inspired me a lot. And when I was up on stage, this woman, like, standing and, like, kind of behind, like, next to my dad, but slightly behind him. And started, like, clapping, getting excited. I didn't really realize that because I was enjoying being on stage with the squad, like, the squad. And it was just mind-blowing, and she was really happy and excited for me. So what happened was that my dad, her, and this other woman all had their hands on a butterflies t-shirt I showed you in my last video. And she literally looked at my dad, let go of it, and kind of gave him a look like, let your kid have it. And then my dad he kind of snatched it from the other woman, but not, like, what happened, but it wasn't in a mean way. And he did kind of make up for it a little bit to them by, like, pointing at her daughter, or once, because they were, picking people to go up on stage for, like, a challenge thing, and my dad pointed at her to kind of make up for it a little bit. She didn't get picked, but, he tried. Like, there's only so much he could do, because he didn't want to, like, pick her up and, really do anything like he could with me, because he didn't want anyone thinking, like, he's gonna hurt her or anything. No. But he did point, like, directly at her, like, trying to get her up there, and he pointed at me, too, because, you know, like, he's my dad, and he's gonna try to get me up there again, and if he can. So what happened was that, kind of pretty much what happened was, first up, the shirt wasn't gonna fit either of her two kids. One of her kids, she kept asking questions of, like, who these people were and all of this, so, like, ultimately, like, there was that, and at the end, he knew how much I really wanted the shirt. I really wanted, like, any form of merch. And also, the woman barely had her hand on it, from what I understand. Plus, this other woman specifically let go and, like, basically looked at my dad and looked at my dad, let go, as if she wanted me to have it. So, in the end, it was kind of 2 against 1. 2 people wanted me to have it, and 1 wasn't, and so ultimately I ended up getting it. And he didn't even really snatch it too much. He literally just kind of, like, pulled it a little bit, and then he had it in his hand, and that was kind of, I think that was the rules, which was if you had it fully in your hands, then no one could take it from you. And no one tried. I don't know exactly, because no one said anything about that, but I feel like it was. And so, like, when it's a 3-way, a grab, someone's gotta get it. And so, anyway, so it sounds bad, but actually it wasn't. And my dad was just doing it for me, and it made sense. He wasn't being rude. And he tried to make it up to her, even though it didn't work, but he tried, and that's all he can do is try. Plus coronavirus, you know. So he didn't want to, like, do too much on, like, touching her and stuff to, like, promote her. But literally, it was so much fun, and the whole day was a lot of fun. And Eliana did a solo, which was incredible. I literally got free merch, a $28 t-shirt for free. And I literally love it so much. Every day I am constantly, under this sweatshirt jacket thing, I have a JoJo shirt on. But I'm constantly, and it looks like I'm not wearing any form of, like, pants or anything, but I am. See, I'm wearing shorts. I wanted to show you because this sweatshirt thing is kind of big on me, and so it looks like I'm not wearing any form of like pants or bottom, but I am. That's the nice thing about now is that now whatever clothing I get now is gonna fit me forever. Or because I'm not supposed to grow anymore. Like I always been short, I always will be short, and to me it's incredible. Like I enjoy being short actually a lot because I look at it and something that like I have had family members ask me before is like, do you like being short? And I'm like, yes, as because I can wear JoJo for the rest of my life. I can wear squad merch for the rest of my life. Like that's literally all I ever wear, and I'm not joking. Even now in dance, I have a squad crop top that I wear for dance. And now I kind of plan to probably only wear squad crop tops for dance. Like, don't worry, I have like dance bottoms and stuff that I'm wearing, but like part of like tops. But for me, it's literally incredible on the day that I had. And it kind of, I look at it now and I'm like, I'm sad that it's over. Yes. And if I find out they're coming back, like near us or something, or in reason for us, then I'll definitely, like, try to convince my parents to and let me go again, but it doesn't seem like that's happening, and for now, I'm really happy with how it went. And stuff, like, even though it was a lot of money, like, it was well worth it. And even that was the thing that, like, my mom didn't get to see everything. She literally got to see the tickets, and that was it. And then, like, when I came home and what I had with me. I did end up actually, there's a little girl in our family that I teach dance, and I actually did get her a gift. And it's not much, so what it is, it's just a bag of potato chips, like Lay's original potato chips. It's fine if she knows, because it's not like specific for her birthday but fun fact, I didn't eat at all, really, other than breakfast the day of squad tour. I'm not joking when I say that. Because we were on our way there, and we're almost there, but we still had a little bit to go. We went through a Bojangles drive-thru. I got bacon. I ate it, and that was all I ate that day. And I'm not joking when I say that. Because I grabbed the potato chips thinking, oh, like, if I get hungry in the car, I'll eat them, which we got from, like, a gas station, no big deal. And then I ended up not eating them because I didn't want, like, to touch anything. Like, I legitimately, like, even, like, I literally went like this and to open my soda. And, like, I didn't want to touch anything. I didn't use this hand pretty much at all after squad tour. Like, I used my hand and stuff with this jacket. It has not been washed, but it's fine. It will probably never be washed, to be honest, unless something specifically spilled on it. Because this is like my jacket that, like, I wear around the house because it's comfortable and it's squad merch. I wear my JoJo one out, so, like, yeah, and this jacket was hugged by greatness multiple times. To be exact, 3 times. And I haven't washed my hands since squad tour, but that sounds bad because of COVID. But here's the thing, is that we never go anywhere. Like, me and my family, me and my parents and my dog Sam, we don't really ever go anywhere, which was part of why squad tour was even more amazing, because it was literally, not joking, my first time out of the house in, like, 2 months. Actually not true. We did leave the house, me and my dad, one time, and that wasn't for a fun thing. That was, I was getting my blood drawn, which is not fun at all. Because I do not like needles. I do not like needles one bit. And so it's not a fun thing for me, even though I know it's a tube, not a needle. But yeah, it wasn't fun for me. But other than that, and even that, we weren't gone for that long. We legitimately were there. We were gone not even that long. So it kind of, for me, it was a fun thing getting out of the house. And it did help my dancing a lot, because now I'm more determined than ever. And this year may have been, and it's still I feel like this year has been a hard year for me, and probably the hardest year in my life, in between a lot. Just in between, let me be open, let me be somewhat real with you. I'm going to try to be real. In between just this year, for me, first up this year, a lot has happened for me. This year, I feel like I have really tried to look at things a new way with losing my crush. I tried to look at it more as if trying to forget about it and let the universe do its thing, and that kind of just didn't work for me. I really did try with that, and that's something that I feel like sometimes some of you might think that I didn't even try with it. I just am making this up. I don't actually have a crush. I'm just doing it to seem cool, and partly because I did start social media, around the time that I found out that he was officially music class was done. And music class was done. And so, and I didn't see him for months before that. So, I feel like it can come out as if I'm making it up, but I'm not. And I really did try letting the universe do its thing as much as was hard. I'm shocked I lasted weeks with that. And then finally, it just kind of was too much. And so I put the necklace back on, and I'm like, we're gonna look at it from a new way. A new way, a new perspective, and now I'm looking at it as if it happened for a reasoning, as if the universe is trying to teach me something and a life lesson that I need to learn, and I'm trying to figure it out, what that life lesson is, because I feel like I have learned a lot from it, such as one of the things I learned from it is that if you like someone, tell them. Because even if it could potentially hurt someone else, in a way, tell them, because if it's really meant to be more, or you're the one stopping yourself, and if it isn't, see, it can always go in multiple ways. And if it's meant to be more, you're stopping yourself. Now, if you tell them, it could turn out to where it's meant to be. Things work out great. Or you could tell them, hurt someone in the process, which is really hard and really sad to do. But if they really are a good person, and it may take time, but they'll eventually understand why you did it and why you had to do it. Now, don't do it if you're trying to get revenge on someone or something. Don't do that. That's mean. And if it's really not meant to be, it won't happen, or it won't happen, and you'll just come out as friends. And nothing will change. I feel like if it's a strong enough friendship, even after that, it will still end up being friends. So I learned not everything that you want in life happens, and I learned that sometimes it takes a lot more inside of you. Sometimes you gotta get knocked down. You gotta go through something really hard just to improve how strong you are and stuff. And there's so many other just little here and there things, but for me, most important right now, I'm just like right now that played into it, but also something else that made this year hard with that. It really that hit me hard this year, but also personal life stuff and just being really hard on myself in dance. Because this year it seems like I kind of went to a point where I wasn't always dancing. For me, I was dancing to be the best and show off to like teachers and stuff. And once it clicked in my brain that I don't have to, I need to let my talent do the talking. I've been doing so amazing since then, and the concert just reminded me of that. I do want to give 2 tips for being a dancer and you're looking into it, which is first off, trust the teacher, and second off, don't stress about the money so much. Because if you stress about the money so much, you're losing opportunities. Peace out.